Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to take a look at another trim level of the 2026 Hyundai Santa Cruz, this time the fully loaded limited. Now if you guys haven't been subscribed or seen my dedicated changes video where I go trim by trim, tell you all the exact features, options, and packaging that's either being added or removed across the entire lineup, I highly recommend checking that video out. And of course pricing is going to be down in the description of that video, and I will be including it in today's video for this vehicle seen behind me. Now of course some of the biggest news for the Santa Cruz and Santa Fe with the 2.5 liter turbo engine is the new 8-speed torque converted automatic transmission, replacing the former dual clutch, which is a very positive change. Now I do have driving impressions in the Santa Fe. I will be creating one here for the Santa Cruz over the next couple days, so make sure you guys subscribe and stay tuned for that. But overall this is a very positive change that makes this vehicle behind me, along with the XRT trim level, just that much more enjoyable to live with and drive on a daily basis. Now in terms of the limited trim level specifically, some of the key changes for 2026 is that this is now the only trim to get the rear seat center armrest, as that was removed from the entire rest of the lineup. The dark green leather interior is no longer available. That was formerly available as one of the 3 interiors on the limited. Now they're down to just 2 interior colors. All the exterior colors are carrying over, and the price increase is just about $800 over that of a equivalent 2025. So now a limited all-wheel drive is going to start just over $45,000, including destination, of course standard all-wheel drive. This one behind me does have a few additional accessories on it, as well as the $500 extra cost sage gray paint color, which brings the total MSRP on this one to just over $47,000. So without further ado, let's not waste time. Take a look at what the fully loaded Santa Cruz has to offer here for 2026. So the Santa Cruz in front of me is finished in the sage gray exterior with the black leather interior. This is an exterior color that has been around since the launch of the Santa Cruz for 2022. And like I said, this vehicle did go through a mid-cycle refresh for 2025, but that new 8-speed torque converted automatic paired to the 2.5 liter turbo is new for 2026. So starting at the front end of the Limited, you'll find the exact same exterior styling and enhancements that they made last year. So you get full LED lighting at the front of the vehicle with your LED projector low and high beams, turn signals located in this portion, as well as the LED daytime running lights on the sides of the front grille. Now the Limited does get the dark chrome accent, which is a little bit more of a premium look versus that of some of the lower trim levels. You can see that does continue on to the entire bottom of the front fascia with kind of a faux skid plate or rugged design to the exterior. No parking sensors on the front or rear of the vehicle, but you do have the radar for the adaptive cruise control just below the license plate, and the 360 surround view camera system just below the Hyundai logo right there. Now coming around to the side profile of the Santa Cruz, they will all get the standard matte black plastic cladding around the wheel arches and the lower door sections. However, do pay attention on dealership lots that some of them do have the accessory cladding, which is borrowed from that of the XRT, which makes this just a little bit wider and more beefy looking than that of the standard cladding, which is on this particular one. And that is due to the additional accessories that you get that locate camera mount just above the actual wheel arch right there. Now coming to the wheel and tire setup, this is going to be the Limited specific 20-inch alloy wheel finished in a gloss black and machine finish. It is going to be wrapped in a Michelin Primacy all-season tire, a 245/50 20-inch in overall size. And there you can see it is definitely a road-going all-season at that. Coming to the mirror caps, you're going to be body color with LED turn signal integration. No dark chrome or silver chrome plastics that you'll find on the Tucson, but you do have the cameras for the 360 surround view camera system and the blind spot view monitor. They of course are going to be heated and do have standard blind spot detection. The door handles are going to be body color with standard proximity entry, as well as Hyundai Digital Key 2.0 touch on the front, so you can use your iOS or Android compatible device to control and unlock and drive the vehicle, which is a very cool feature. You have tinted rear windows, the roof rails on the top of the vehicle in satin black, and then the Limited and some of the other trim levels do have a smaller power sunroof just for the front seats. Now coming to the rear of the Santa Cruz, unfortunately the LED lighting does not continue on to the rear of the vehicle, so the only LED lighting out back is going to be the running light in the middle portion, but the rest of it is going to be incandescent. So you have your turn signals and brake lights in the upper housing, and the incandescent reverse lights located in the black bumper with a little bit of that dark chrome accent. You do have integrated side steps on the sides of the bumper. This one does have the additional Santa Cruz accessory letters finished in that satin black in the tailgate. Otherwise, it would just be normally, stamped into the metal itself. Hyundai logo with a little bit of bright silver crimp for the Limited. You have the backup camera, electronic release, H-Track 2.5T, because this one does come standard with all-wheel drive, along with that more powerful 2.5 liter turbo engine. And then that is basically going to be it. We will take a look at the bed space and the tonneau cover, which comes standard on this trim, here in just a few minutes. But let me know what you guys think of the Santa Cruz in the refreshed 2025 and newer models down in the comment section below. Wish they would add a few additional exterior colors to the lineup and change it up from what they currently offer, but overall still looks like a very stylish and luxurious vehicle. Let's go and take a quick look at the window stickers so you guys know exactly how this one is equipped before jumping onto the interior. So take a look at the window sticker. The Santa Cruz Limited comes fully loaded with everything that this vehicle currently has to offer in this generation, which includes the genuine leather seating surfaces with heated and ventilated front seats, heated steering wheel. You have the surround view camera system with power sunroof, Bose premium audio system, built-in navigation, and of course the list goes on. This also includes BlueLink Plus, which is free for the lifetime of the first owner, Hyundai Pay, and this one does have a few additional accessories as well as the extra cost paint color, which brings the total MSRP including destination to $47,055. And it is worth noting that every Santa Cruz is assembled right here in the United States, down in Montgomery, Alabama. So take a look on the interior. As I mentioned, this one has the black leather interior, but there is going to be a gray option available as well. Unfortunately, that dark green has been discontinued for 2026. Starting out here on the door panel, you're going to find the same overall design as that of the Hyundai Tucson Limited with a lot of nice soft touch premium materials. So up top, this is going to be a soft touch texture. You have a soft touch accent stitch portion, a little bit of cloth accent, and the leather armrest with more accent stitching and gloss black around the window switches. Now you do have power windows, mirrors, and locks, with both of the two front windows being fully automatic up down. Unfortunately, no power folding mirrors, silver accent door handle pull, 2-position memory driver's seat, and additional door storage with ambient lighting and the Bose premium audio system down below. Now coming to the driver's seat, this is going to be fully power with two-way lumbar on this side of the vehicle. And there you can see the black perforated leather with gray accent stitching and piping, a nice silver trim with a metallic flake in the backrest portion. And then there's going to be a look at the refreshed dashboard that did occur for 2025. So here in the interior of the Santa Cruz Limited, this is going to be identical to that of the 2025 models here on the limited trim, but many of these enhancements did make the overall experience just that much better. So in front of the driver, you're going to find a 12.3-inch fully digital instrument cluster that is controlled here on the left side of the steering wheel. Now this is the more premium gauge cluster design found in Hyundai vehicles currently, which means there is some additional configurability as well as themes you can access via the infotainment system. Now in the middle, you have a small 4.2-inch section that is cyclable, so you can put the driver assist up here, cycle it through one more time. You have your trip information, fuel economy, range, all that stuff. The all-wheel drive and tire pressures are displayed up there. And then pressing it one more time, you have the built-in navigation. And then finally, you have the driver assist. You can see the speed sign recognition, gear selection, outside ambient temperature, and all the usual stuff is going to be displayed on it. Now, most importantly, to the left of that, you do still have the fingerprint recognition, which can access the driver profiles and start and operate the vehicle in certain capacities, which has been removed from the Tucson for 2026, but the Santa Cruz does continue on with it. In front of the steering column, you have the driver attention camera, which is interactive with some of the driver assistant safety features. Coming back to the steering wheel, this is a black leather wrap steering wheel that is going to be heated. 3-spoke design with the 4 dots for Morse code and Hyundai in the middle. On the left side, you have highway drive assist 1, adaptive cruise control, lane follow assist, and on the right side, you have the audio multimedia controls. Backside, you still retain the paddle shifters for the new 8-speed torque converted automatic transmission, which is always nice to see. Automatic headlights with auto high beam assist, and this vehicle does have rain sense wipers, which is a very nice premium feature. To the left of the steering wheel, we have the gauge dimming, bed lighting, traction control off, as well as a dedicated tow haul mode specific to that of the 2.5-liter turbo engine. Manual tilt telescopic steering column, a little bit more of that cloth material above the AC vents, and then no heads-up display, unfortunately, on the Santa Cruz, but that is found on the Tucson Limited. Now, coming over to the infotainment, this is the 12.3-inch CCNC navigation system with wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay alongside of that built-in navigation. It does support Sirius XM, AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth inputs as well. You have Hyundai Pay. You're going to have over-the-air Amazon Alexa capability coming in the future to the system with an active BlueLink account, so that is a very cool feature there. You have valet mode, all the usual Hyundai settings, and things like that. I do have additional content going through this infotainment system in a little bit more detail in some other vehicles, but this is very similar to those and should carry over for the most part. Below that, you have all the physical hard touch controls and buttons that Hyundai brought back for 2025. So dual zone automatic climate control, all of your shortcuts with a volume and tune knob for the infotainment, heated and ventilated seats in the small touchscreen portion, along with all of your other HVAC controls and commands right there. Heated steering wheel is also found in there. And then below that, we have USB-C data and charge ports, wireless charging pad, as well as your Hyundai Digital Key pad down below, 12-volt outlet, additional storage. There's the shifter for the automatic transmission, 2 decent sized cup holders with your standard proximity key. There you can see built-in remote start, all the usual stuff on there. And then below that, you have the center differential lock, which will send power 50-50 front and rear for the all-wheel drive, automatic vehicle, electronic parking brake, 360 camera, hill descent control, and your drive mode selection. So you do have normal, sport, smart, and snow drive mode for all-wheel drive equipped Santa Cruzes. And there you can see the 360 camera system, which does have the augmented reality display, so you can actually scroll around the vehicle, do a little bit of additional viewpoint and visibility, and it is a very nice resolution also. In front of the armrest, we do have a rubberized textured armrest, blank buttons, which were formerly the heated and ventilated seat controls. Inside, we do have additional storage space with a little pull-out cubby. And up top, we do have hard touch pillars, soft touch headliner finished in the dark black. We do have incandescent illumination for the vanity lights. We do have an auto dimming rear view mirror with garage home link, blue link SOS, LED overhead lighting with your power sunroof controls as well. It does have a manual shade, just a smaller standard power sunroof, but lets in a good amount of additional light, especially this time of year, and does allow ventilation as well. So that's a look here at the front seat. Let's go ahead and take a look out back. So take a look at the second row of the Santa Cruz Limited. Some of the materials do follow through from the front. So here on the door panel, the upper section is going to be the hard touch plastics, but you still get the soft touch cloth as well as the padded armrest with the gloss black trim and 1 additional cup holder. Seat material is going to be the same black perforated leather. And then stepping inside, we do have a pretty easy step in height, although the space in the rear seat of the Santa Cruz is going to be fairly limited. There's going to be a quick look at the front dashboard. And out back, we do have AC vents as well as 2 USB-C charging ports, map nets on both of the 2 front seats. You can see this is my rough driving position, and I have maybe an inch and a half of legroom when I fully adjust the seat. Plenty of footroom down below, however, and then we do have overhead LED illumination, grab handles for all 4 seats, and the Limited trim is now the only one to get the center armrest with 2 additional cup holders. Do have the manual sliding rear window with defrost on most of the trims of the Santa Cruz. And there you can see overall headspace and headroom isn't going to be bad. Actually, it's quite good in this vehicle as the seat's mounted fairly low and upright, and there is a little indent in the actual headliner itself. Now, one thing I like about the Santa Cruz over that of the Ford Maverick is the fact it has a split folding seat bottom, which means you can fold up each of these sides 60-40 individually, and not the entire bench flips up at once. So if you have stuff or occupants on that side, you can access the underseat storage very easily by just a flip of the little pull tab there, and it will allow you to raise and lower the seat bottom. Now, coming to the bed of the the Santa Cruz, this has the electronic release, which can be activated on the key fob or inside the vehicle in addition to the outside. And it is going to be just over a 4-foot total length bed, finished in a fully composite material. So no bed liners, no rust. It just comes composite from the factory. And you do have LED illumination on both the left and right hand side, additional tie-down points via these adjustable rails. This one does have the additional $480 bed divider, which you can see is that net piece right there. It can slide in those rails. In addition to the tonneau cover, which comes standard on higher trim levels of the Santa Cruz, retractable type, and there is a light or a button on the left side to control the lights. So you can see it activates the lights right there, as well as the bed light above the third brake light. So nice feature they added for 2025. And then every Santa Cruz also comes standard with the underfloor storage, which does have a drain plug down here. So if you want to go tailgating, put ice inside of this chest, you can do that and drain it out through the bottom very, very easily. And there is a 115 volt outlet, 150 watt on the right side in that storage compartment. And there you can see the width of the bed is roughly, I think, just over 4 feet in overall size. So you can put 4x8 sheets of plywood or drywall in here above the wheel arches, and then go ahead and hook the tailgate up for additional support, just like that of a lot of current pickup trucks on the market. Now, coming to the passenger front seat, one of the new features for 2025 was the addition of the power passenger seat on the Limited trim level. So this does have power adjustment. Unfortunately, no power lumbar, but that is okay. And there's a look at the front dashboard. You do have ambient accent lighting at nighttime in this section, in addition to additional storage. Below that, we have the LED illuminated glove box, which you can see does fit all of your owner's literature and stuff inside. And that is going to be a quick look here at the 2026 Santa Cruz Limited. Let's go ahead and pop the lid, see what powers this particular vehicle before wrapping this video up. So under the hood of the Santa Cruz Limited, you're going to find the same 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder paired to that new 8-speed torque converted automatic transmission. This produces 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque through a standard all-wheel drive system. And like I said, that transmission makes a world of difference when it comes to the overall drivability and usability on a daily basis. Now, the 2.5 liter turbos can tow the most out of the Santa Cruz lineup at 4,500 pounds when properly equipped with integrated trailer brakes. And that does not change due to the transmission. That has always been the case, but I'm sure this particular vehicle tows a little bit better and is more predictable than that of the dual clutch. And as far as I know, fuel economy stayed identical as well with the transmission change, which is actually quite surprising given dual clutches are typically a little bit more efficient than torque converted automatics. But overall, I think this is definitely the powertrain and configuration to get, whether you get the XRT or the Limited here for the 2026 Santa Cruz. So let's do it here for this full walk-around tour of the 2026 Hyundai Santa Cruz Limited. If you guys enjoyed this video and are found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to stay tuned for my driving review between the 8-speed automatic and the former dual clutch, where I'll drive them back to back and give you my overall impressions. But generally speaking, I think this is a huge win and a positive change for this vehicle with the turbo engine. Of course, the standard engine has always had the 8-speed automatic standard type. This one now gets it, and I think, you know, this just makes it more appealing in my eyes. Of course, it is getting more expensive with every model year, but that's pretty much the case for most vehicles out there. But just note, this is going to be a little bit more of a price premium versus that of a fully loaded Ford Maverick. However, you are getting more equipment and more features on this vehicle than that of the Maverick in its 2-liter gas form. So there might be a little bit of a trade-off there, but it is still a little bit more expensive than that of the Maverick, with all being said. So I do have additional videos on the Santa Cruz, including the model year changes, 2025 videos, which are still very much relevant for the most part with some minor tweaks. Make sure you guys check all that out if you guys are new to the channel. But with all that being said, I appreciate continued support and hope to see you guys in the next one.